Hey guys, Husky game's about to come on, and yeah, just to talk about that real quick, I think we can really determine where our season's going to go tonight because ASU is not very good this year. So if we can win this game, we're at 3-2. We have some tough games coming up, but we also have some winnable ones. So to me, if we're 3-2, we put ourselves in good position to make a bowl game. And if we lose, to me that'll signal that we are not bowl game material. So this is a big one. Last week we kept things alive by upsetting USC. I haven't really talked about the team much this year, but in general, pretty much what I expected. The week one was a game I really thought we could have won. Did not play out like that. Obviously, I think I've talked a little bit about the game right after it was done, and week two we took care of business. Week three was a game I did not get to watch, and clearly I did not miss much because losing is one thing. I can watch the team get their butt kicked. That happens, but to watch Jake Locker complete 20% of his passes, that would have been tough because I'm a big Jake Locker supporter, and to see him struggle like that, it would have been tough. So maybe that's one of those games that's just better off not watched. I did watch all of the USC game. This team has heart. This team decided, we're not gonna let ourselves just fall off like that. So I was very happy with what I saw there. The defense not great, but we made a couple of stops. Offense was on. If the freaking receivers didn't drop passes, Jake Locker would have had 500 offensive yards. So you know I can't really complain about that. So all that's pretty good. Um, And yeah, I'm okay with where the team is, but tonight's going to determine a lot of what I think this team can do. So yeah, I'm not really here to talk about college football, though. I'm here to throw out my predictions for Week 5. Jacksonville and Buffalo in Buffalo started off. I like the Bills. I think this is one of their only chances all season to win a game. I think if they don't want to go 0-16, they need to get a win here. I don't think Jacksonville's any good. I think, they play Indy tough most of the time. And I think they're going to have a letdown game after beating Indianapolis, which is always a big deal to them. And the Huskies are just kicking off. All right. So anyway, yeah, I think Buffalo's going to pull the upset here. I think they're due a win. I think Jacksonville's due a letdown game. So yeah, moving on, we got Denver at Baltimore. I have Baltimore. Noshan Marino is out, and you're talking about a one-dimensional offense that can only pass the ball going in there against, a really good Ravens defense. So I don't see how the Ravens don't come away with that one. So yeah, Baltimore wins. Chiefs at Colts. Time for the Colts to put their man pants on and figure this thing out. Oh. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I guess they're gonna roll that incomplete. Anyway, the Chiefs, all the credit in the world to them for doing what they've done so far because, they deserve some credit. But Indy's got to win this one. Indy's got to get back on track. I mean, last week was not really embarrassing or anything. They lost a very tough game, and they lost it in on a 59-yard field goal, which just doesn't happen very often. But it's time for them to start winning, and I got the Colts winning big against Kansas City. Green Bay visits Washington. I still don't think Washington's good. Give me Green Bay. I don't know. I mean, last week's game was kind of weird where Washington scored all their points in the first, 6, 7 minutes, and then they didn't do anything good the rest of the game except for, play good defense against Kevin Kolb, and, that's not hard. So, yeah, I don't think Washington's good. I got Green Bay. Get him. Sweet. Good start for Washington, by the way. The Huskies, that is. St. Louis at Detroit. I think it's time for Detroit to get their first win, so why not? And please do it for me, Detroit. I don't need the Rams, winning more games than they already have. I think it's time for Detroit to finally pull one out. So there you go. Bears at Panthers. Chicago at Carolina. You know, the Todd Collins thing, it had me thinking because, you know, Cutler's out. And we know the Bears have a horrible offensive line. I don't think the Bears are good anymore. It's one of those things where how am I supposed to think that team is good after what they did on Sunday night? It's very tough for me to call them a good team because it wasn't just that they lost. It wasn't just that they got blown out. It's the way in which that game was played. I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to say about that. Watching that game, how could I come to the conclusion that they're any good? I can't do it. But you know what? It's Julius Peppers coming back to Carolina, and we all know how his marriage with Carolina broke up. So I think he makes a bunch of big plays out there, and I think it's enough for the Bears to pull out the win in Carolina. And, you know, Carolina really is just that bad, if you ask me. So there you go. Tampa Bay at Cincinnati. I don't think Cincy's any good. I mean, the Baltimore win, okay, it was impressive, but I don't know if it means anything. I don't think Tampa Bay is anything special, but I just don't like that Bengals team. I think Tampa Bay rolls in there and pulls the upset. So that's one of my upset picks for tomorrow. Tampa Bay beating Cincinnati. Atlanta at Cleveland. I believe in this Atlanta team. I really do. I like the way they're going. I like the things they're doing. And I think this is going to be a blowout for them. They're going to recover from a game they really should have lost last week. They really got lucky. So I think they get back on track this week with the big win over Cleveland. We got the Giants at the Texans. I think this is Houston. I think the Giants, you know, played their guts out last week and scored a big win. I think it's time for a little bit of a letdown. I have the Texans winning in Houston. Saints at Cardinals. Not really impressed with the Saints this year. They haven't really impressed me in any game yet. But, you know, it's the Max Hall thing. I mean, holy shit, and that Cardinals offensive line is awful too. It's not all the quarterbacks. I mean, they have some issues at the offensive line too. So I think the Saints win big. I don't know if they'll get back on track, but I do think they'll win big. Tennessee at Dallas. This is the toughest one of the week. I think, you know, the Titans are the kind of team that's just going to be really inconsistent this year. They're going to look really good one week and really bad another. So I think this is the week they look good, and I think they get it done. I think Tennessee beats Dallas. San Diego at Oakland. Well, about time San Diego snaps into gear, and this is the kind of game that they're going to win like 48-10, something like that. So yeah, San Diego gets the win. Philadelphia at San Francisco. You know, for all the bad things you say about Kevin Kolb, and he deserves a lot of it. Okay, thank you, by the way. Receivers finally holding onto the ball. He is a good check-down quarterback, and, you know, I think a quarterback like Kevin Kolb is good enough to beat the Niners, because don't forget how bad the Niners are. The Niners get up for games against good teams. They don't get up for these games against teams that are not elite for whatever reason. So I kind of like the Eagles. Sure. That's a tough one, but I just feel like Kolb, even with his dink and dunk tendencies, can get it done. You frickin'... Okay, these receivers are pissing me off now. Okay, anyway, Vikings at Jets. Very high on the Vikings this year. All of a sudden, I think the Randy Moss trade does wonders for them. I like where that's going, but not yet. And not against the team that I think right now is the best team in the league. So I'm going to pick the Jets on Monday night, and that's it for this week. Pick'em's been rough for me this year, but there goes nothing. Right? Alright. See you guys later. I'm out.